What's up, G Fusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So, instead of doing the regular weekly superhero time review, I really think that this video would make much more sense and is definitely has given me the idea. So, we're going to talk about Kamen Rider Decade's new complete form. So if you haven't checked it out already, I'm going to put a link down in the description so you guys can see the trailer for the upcoming Rider time, Kamen Rider Decade versus Geo, or Geo versus Decade actually. Those are two different things, but we'll talk about that in a later video. But what I noticed the most is the complete forms upgrade. So we're going to call it for now Kamen Rider Decade Complete Form 21 because of the number 21 that is just plastered onto the new K Touch. So again, I'm not sure if it's the official name for that form, but let's just call it the Kamen Rider Decade Complete Form 21. So yeah, but so again, if you haven't seen the trailer, there's a link down in the description. I'm actually sharing the one that was posted on Twitter because the one on YouTube is region locked, so probably most of you won't be able to see it anyway. So I'm posting the one on Twitter because it's more accessible. So that's the one that you're going to be able to access. So okay, so let's talk about it. Now, what do I personally think about this suit? Now, I do honestly think that it's ridiculous, but not too much that I hate it. Now, sure, you might think that it's a lazy idea, it's lame, because if you guys haven't seen it, so I'm also going to post a picture. If you go to the JFusion page where I'm going to post this video as well, you can see the full body shot down below down below, so just below this video, and it's basically the original complete form with a bunch of other final form Kamen Rider cards, specifically the Heisei cards. But if you look at the cape that's included, you will see, especially on the lower half, you will see cards of other Kamen Riders plastered onto that as well. I think I've noticed the Kamen Rider Gatak, for example, but yeah, at least for the shoulders and the head, you will see an expanded version with more. Basically, include we already have all of the Heisei Kamen Rider's final forms, plus Kamen Rider Zero Two right above the original Decade Complete Form card. So again, there's not really much in terms of the visuals, but in terms of accessories. So there is also a picture of him holding the Neo DN driver. So I guess he's also able to access that as well. We're not sure how powerful this new Decade Complete Form 21 is going to be, but it's definitely something that's intended to go toe to toe against Omagio. So, speaking of Omagio, you probably would be wondering why not Geo Oma form. Now, if I'm going to try and answer that, this is the most plausible answer that I can give you guys. So imagine that uh, Geo Oma form, the events of the movie, they went this way. Now, this new rider time that we're going to see, it went this way. So what we're following is the direction that they took at the end of the TV series. Again, the movie series went on a different direction. So again, I'm going to repeat, we're going to follow the events after Kamen Rider Geo's TV run. So that's going to be it. So that's my best explanation as to why we're not going to see uh, Geo Oma form. But Sogo will have an upgrade in the form of the Kamen Rider Geo Decade Armor Brave Dragon. So uh, he will obtain Kamen Rider Saber's Ride Watch apparently and use it with the Decade Complete form. So it's actually an interesting thought because yes, we will also see Oma Gio, but I think Sogo is most likely going to try and avoid using that before he gets overwhelmed by the power of Omagio and completely turn evil this time. So instead, he's actually going to use the Decade armor with a power that the Decade doesn't have. So I think that's going to be Decade's weakness. That's just my opinion, but you know, um, things could happen differently, but it's going to be interesting. So yeah, okay, now going back to the new complete form or complete form 21. Now, like I've said, I don't like. mm, I neither like nor hate it. I'm just indifferent to it. Like, meh, they can do what they want. So, why did Toei take this approach to upgrading Decade anyway? So, I, and this is the answer that so this is just my own answer, but this answer makes the most sense to me. Now, imagine, so you're going to, if you're Toei, okay, so let's look at it from Toei's perspective. If you're going to make a side story, and this is more or less a side story, you know, it's not a full blown movie, so we can think that this is definitely going to be a low budget presentation. This is just going to be produced the same way as they would with a normal TV episode. So there's not going to be a lot of money involved in producing this new rider time. And definitely, their Toei would not be expecting much of revenue. Most likely, what they're going to get is revenue from subscriptions, either through Terasa or the Toei Tokusatsu fan club. And it's actually not going to be much compared to like a movie ticket. So, for context, a movie ticket here in Japan would cost around 3,000 yen. And let's say for Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club, I think you just pay about 500 to 600 yen per month. So it's already significantly cheaper. So even if like you rake in some money through subscriptions, it's not gonna be much compared to uh, actually selling movie tickets. So Toei wouldn't really expect much of revenue in terms of actual views, but there's definitely going to be merchandise very soon. No doubt about it, there will be toys. And P Bandai. Most likely, it's going to be on P Bandai. So, if you are willing to actually dish out money for this new K Touch, if there are new figures of this new Decade Complete Form 21 or Geo's Decade Armor Brave Dragon, well, uh, most likely you will probably see news about it later this year, and then the toys will come out and say like next year. So that's what I'm thinking. So again, Toei isn't really expecting a lot of money in terms of the views. So you know the idea is, if you're going to make a costume like that, so the rationale would have been, you know, if you're going to create a new suit which is not really intended for a full-blown movie, again, not much budget coming in, you don't need to put a lot of budget because you're just producing it like a normal TV episode. So for a suit that would probably be used like once or twice, and then you're just going to shelf anyway, making the upgrade, so grandiose or so special wouldn't really make much sense. Now, compare that to Geo Oma form, okay? So it did appear only in the movie, in Over Quartzer, but since it is a movie and it is intended to be produced with high budget, of course, Toei would also go out of their way and invest in creating a new form that's really special and looks, you know, very much fit for a movie that many people would come to see, many people would spend their money on, and definitely would bring in more income. So, with that in mind, again, since you're producing something cheaper, you're not expecting a lot of income, then uh, going cheap on the armors, going cheap on the new forms is the most logical step. Well, sure, this may not sound like the best idea to you, to you, the viewer. So you may think this is dumb, but from Toei's perspective, again, this is the best that they can do. I'm not going to blame them, really. I don't really like it. Again, I don't hate it either. It's just meh to me, but I completely understand what's going on behind the scenes. So, well, this is just my opinion again, but to me, this makes sense. And if this is what's actually, in the minds of the producers at Toei, then I completely understand. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. As for Kira Major and Kamen Rider Saber, again, I'm not doing a typical superhero time review today or this week, but I do have plans for separate videos regarding Kira Major and Kamen Rider Saber. So, watch out for that. So, anyways, again, as always, thank you so much, guys, for watching. So, please don't forget to leave a like, comment what you think about Kamen Rider Decades Complete Form 21. Or if you also would like to comment on the Decade Armor Brave Dragon, which is Geo's upgrade for this Rider Time special. So, if you would like to comment on that as well, please do leave it in the comments. Share this with your friends and family. And as always, please do subscribe and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. And the sun is shining on my hand. So anyways, again, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!